Alright, sorry I'm a little late with this video, but we just had a new update. Recently, the factions said that there's no blessing this week. It's a time of peace and time to reset, rest. So, I'm playing the new updated catapult, which has a higher chance of stun and also has a little bit more damage and area damage as well. So you can see that the duration of the stun increases with your merge rank, and the damage also increases with the mana level that you have. But the rate at which it fires is still the same, which I wish it was a little faster, but that's fine. We also have the Inquisitor in my deck. I'm going to play that because it's a little bit just pretty good for damage dealing. But here's the Clock of Power, and we have a little bit more buff because it can affect the opponent's whole side of their board, and as well as having a huge increase of attack speed reduction when you merge. And you can see that that changes as well as you go up in power, and it scales with the amount of attack speed decrease or increase. And just to look at some of the other cards, here's some cards I don't have, and I'm working on them, but here's the Corsair. He has more chance of doing % damage, and he also has a higher explosive of the nasty bombs, which do a lot more area damage, and the bombs of the smaller bombs have a bigger burst radius. So he's going to be planting some bombs throughout the game, and it can be very good. Let's see, we also have the meteor, and he had increased damage as his merge level increases, as well as the % that he does to bosses. He does a little bit more to bosses as well. So he's a little bit buffed. I don't think he's super much more than he's been in the past. He used to be really good, and used to play him, and they would sort of play out their meteors, buying time with basically taking out a big, huge chunk of the board. Alright, so some other ones. The Demonologist got debuffed a little bit. He has less mana that he gives when it went down to 75. It was 100 for PvP. I believe it's still the same for regular battles, but his monster health is a little bit less as well, so not a huge deal, because I feel like he didn't produce that much mana anyways, and a lot of people didn't see him as the big mana production, but he is still effective at being able to throw late game monsters at your opponent. Alright, so I'm playing this deck, and I'm going to focus on getting mana, but I'm also going to try to force his hand, and sort of snuff him out with the damage that he can deal. So right away I got 2 vampires. That's pretty good. I'm going to level up as I go, mana-wise, so that I'll be pumping out mana. And my catapult does really good damage, especially early game. And obviously the Inquisitor does damage that is pretty good as well. He got a level 4 Frost, which can be a good or bad thing because Frosts do increase their speed reduction with their merge rank. So let's see, it starts out at 5% and then adds 5% for each level. So he is buffed up to, I believe, 15 or 19%. He's already using his hero power, which is good on me because he is already struggling, but he is trying to get an Inquisitor and having absolutely no luck. And Gorgon is really gonna snuff him out. And I am using Clock of Power. I got like, what's that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like 10%, and then I threw another 25% on him to slow him down. It's easy to snuff out your opponent with Clock of Power, especially when Gorgon is your boss, the first boss. All right, and there you have it. First 2 hearts are down, and we have a fairly decent setup. I got off my numbers on our Inquisitor, but we are pretty good. Should be fine. Let's talk about factional blessings this week. So, I was pretty bummed when there was no factional blessing, but realizing after they got the patch out, I think they needed to do no blessing this week so that they could gather some information on and data on how their new patch and the new buffs and debuffs are working with the gameplay. That being said, the new upgrades and changes, I would say, are this week's faction. All in all, there is your secret gameplay. I guess he has a little bit less critical hit on me, but pretty fun game anyways.